Auto Detailing Podcast. I'm Jimbo, your host, and today on the show, super cool. We have Paul Frasco back on, and Paul is really just a marketing genius in a lot of aspects. And today on this episode, he's sharing one thing that worked really well for him, and I've never heard of any other detailers talking about it. So on this episode, he talks about how he utilizes his email list. He sets goals. He has a video crew. Sends out an email, gets a huge response, does a bonus thing, and there's really 5 pillars to this whole episode that I thought were amazing and that he did really well. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. Paul uses MailChimp to store all his email addresses, MailChimp.com. If you want another way to save email addresses and customer databases, this is really the foundation of this whole podcast episode, is having this like customer database. That's why I teamed up with House Call Pro, and there's many other phenomenal customer relationship management softwares out there like House Call Pro. For right now, I'm teamed up with them, and I actually use their service in my detailing business. And if you go to housecallpro.com/ADP, that will help you tell them that you're coming from me, which I appreciate. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode with Paul Frasco. Hey, what's up, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Auto Detailing Podcast. I'm Jimbo. This is episode 434. Today, we have my good friend and confidant, Paul Frasco, on, because Paul is really, and I think I mentioned this before, Paul, but you're brilliant at looking outside of the detailing industry and picking up on ideas from other industries and then bringing it into your own. And as you just said right before we started recording, you're like, couldn't not tell you about this episode. And then I was thinking about it, and I'm like, man, you and I have had these awesome calls before and we don't record them. So I really I didn't want to talk about it too much before at all, because I wanted to hear it, and have my honest initial reaction. But there is so much stuff to talk about in this strategy that you have. So why don't you take it away?
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't give away too much, because it is such a cool idea that I thought of, and I got to give credit to my employee, Steve Klimzak, who helped me think of it too. It was kind of both of us brainstorming. I couldn't not tell you about it. It was such a cool idea the way it turned out. So basically, I try to run my detail business like a business. That's the way I look at it first. I'm not really a passion detailer. I love what I do, but I try to hit goals and stick to a budget, and I'm always practicing, focusing on marketing, different ways to do that, and I'm always trying to pay attention to that stuff versus just making sure the paint looks perfect. I'm trying to grow the business and all those other aspects. With that being said, we hit we try to hit weekly goals, monthly goals, daily goals, different things for revenue. I won't share numbers because it's not what it's about, but we set goals for the business and we try to hit those goals the best we can. And it's really fun to try to hustle and think of ways to, get your goal accomplished and find different ways to get customers in the door, upsell them to different services. It's really fun. And we were closed for Columbus Day. Just wanted to take a long weekend. And, sometimes we take some time off. It's not, you don't want to work all day, but, we had a short week this week. So I was like, all right, how are we going to make up for this little bit of money that we're short for this week to hit our goal? Being only open 4 days this week, what are we going to do? And we have a videographer, actually 2 of them, and 2 video guys that they come monthly and film videos for us. We do photo shoots, and we just use those for social media and for my website and stuff like that. We get a kind of like a discounted rate with them, and we just film a ton of videos, 1 to 2 a month. And so I have them in the shop anyway. We just kind of pick a day and we'll just see what we have on the schedule and move the day around for whatever cool car we have, in the shop. and try to film a video on that. And
Love that. Yep.
so, yeah, I mean, so basically, thinking of Steve thought of the video guy. He was like, why don't we, try to see if someone wants their car to be in a commercial. So we're just thinking, brainstorming, and I'm like, all right, there's the incentive right there to get a couple, maybe a coating or a detail in the door just to fill in that empty spot we have, and try to make up for that little bit of revenue we wanted for being only open 4 days. So I utilized something else that's very important on the marketing side, is your email list, and your customers' data. It's super valuable. What did data pass like money and value or something? Like, did you hear that?
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know what a proper quote would be for it, I guess, but yeah, it's your list is money. Like,
Yeah.
it's an asset. It's a bigger asset than your equipment.
Yep. So basically, after thinking for a little bit on Monday and Tuesday, I wrote up a little paragraph and threw, one of the photos of us behind the scenes filming a video, threw that up in the email list. And I was like, do you want your car to be in a commercial? I forgot what I named the title of the email, but it was to catch your attention, kind of. And I offered a 30% discount off of a ceramic coating or a detail for this week only, but we only have 2 spots available. If you want a discounted ceramic coating or a like a full service detail, and it's because we're going to be using your car for a commercial. So I just typed up a little paragraph about that, sent it out to my email list of like 1,500 or so people. And literally I sent that out at like maybe 8:00 at night. And then the next morning I woke up to 47 text messages. And I was like, oh,
that's
crap.
insane.
Yeah. It was nuts. I was like, oh crap, this is way too much than I was thinking. So now I'm like spending an hour answering all these people, instead of working on our first car. I had Steve getting that one started, and I'm just like sitting in the car answering all these people, and going through, making a list of what cars they had that they wanted in the commercial. And so I just took it off, like, say our top retail price, I took 30% off. So like, say for example, like $1,000, 2-year coating or something is now $700. And it's just like a one-step kind of thing. So we just, did something like that, like a C-Quartz kind of 2-year coating. So we ended up getting 2 coatings booked for this week, to fill in that empty, half a day slot, and then a few hours the following day. I'm going to be at the shop late finishing them up, but it definitely, we passed our goal of what we wanted to hit, so, and then it worked. The people were happy. Our filmer's here tomorrow. He's going to film us finishing up the cars. And then, yeah, I mean, the customers are going to think that's cool when the video's out. I'm going to email them the video. We hit a revenue goal. And what I did too is, like, some of the customers were bummed out that we didn't pick their car. So I made up a $50 coupon, like a voucher, with an expiration date of like January 10th or whatever it was. So that way I'm not rushing them, but they have a couple months to use this. And I'm like, as a thank you, I appreciate your support, but we only had 2 spots open and we had a crazy response from this. So I sent them all a voucher, and we actually got 2 more appointments booked, on top of the coatings. We got 2 more appointments that you wanted to use the voucher right away. So I sent all those other people, the rest of the 47 or 45 people, the voucher, and they were all pumped on that, so we got 2 coatings this week, and then another coating at that same rate for the next week. and then a couple details booked from it. So it worked really good.
Dude, and so brilliant. And you can, even if you wanted to get even more in the nitty gritty, which you probably will, is segment or take those, what was it, 47 people that said they wanted to be in a commercial and put them in a separate list. Right.
Oh yeah.
And then you could always, next time whenever you want to, that's their trigger. Right. So you could always, what a great email to them in a month or 2 months or whenever you need to, of like, hey, we got 2 more spots open for a commercial. You know what I mean? And that's, I mean, there's so many nuggets in there from setting goals. I mean, that's important, right? That something to do so you know where you're at. Kind of give yourself a roadmap and something to aspire to. Having a video crew, I think I took like notes of like 5 things that I think you did and are doing brilliantly. So I'll just read them, I guess. The first one was setting goals, which I think is awesome. I set all kinds of goals and I try to write them down every day. You have a video crew, which makes it so much easier to focus on what you do best, is detailing and then marketing, right? I remember when I started having a video guy and then I had a photographer around for a little bit. And when I was building out a separate website and I needed like good images, it made it so nice to have like a Dropbox file of professionally done photos that I could pull from. It was like game changing,
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm never going to use all the photos and videos I have. It's crazy, but it's
totally so worth it. And so nice to just have at your disposal. Right. And then the third thing I wrote was your email list. You're tracking your customer data. That is by far my number one mistake that I made when I started detailing, was I just didn't keep track of anyone's information at all.
I made that mistake for the first like 7 years.
And it's easy to do, right? You're stuck. I think because and maybe you had a different experience, but for me, it was like you're stuck in the grind of like just trying to make enough money to like make it work, that you don't take the time to like write down the information. It's stupid. Yeah. It's like
you're just stuck being a detailer, not running a business.
Exactly.
You're just moving on to the next car instead of looking at the big picture.
100%. 100%. Because look how much, not only it helped you set your goal, but you actually exceeded your goal for the week, it sounds like, right?
Yeah, and then we fluffed up the next 2 weeks with squeezing in a couple other jobs here and there. I mean, I'm booked out 6 weeks right now, but we have like some dead space on purpose,
right,
to fill in other things. If someone's like a last minute person, we can squeeze them in the following week. You know what I mean?
And it didn't cost you any money to get that additional revenue, right? And that's you probably see it on all these Facebook groups. People, when they start talking about advertising, they talk about how expensive it is, which it can be. But if you have your own list, it doesn't cost you anything except for maybe your monthly fee to be able to email blast everyone at once or whatever. But it's not going to cost anything in the moment,
I got to pay like, I don't know, $30 a month or something for MailChimp, because I have a bigger database. But I mean,
$30, big deal.
Nothing. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's so worth it if you really want to utilize everything that you have.
I mean, look at the response you got I think it's a big response. You could look at it like, well, there was 1,440 people that didn't respond, or 50 people that didn't respond. But still, I mean, like you said, 47 responses was almost too much.
Yeah.
So you don't need everyone to respond, right?
Yeah, I mean, just from that. So I just took my calculator out real quick. I mean, just from sending that one email, that was a $2,700 email.
Boom.
That's awesome. And it costs you $30 a month to be able to do that.
Right. And then I think what was even more brilliant too, as you really extended this out, was you gave people a runner-up prize. So some people too would just fill the 2 spots and then let it go again. But you gave everyone a runner-up prize, right? Hey, you didn't get the slot for the commercial this time around. Maybe I'll email you next month and tell you there's another spot open. But here's $50 off. So you didn't leave those other 45 people hanging.
I mean, well, it was like 2 coatings this week, and then we had one that we squeezed in for next week at the same rate, and then a full service detail, and then then all the other people got the the vouchers, and I genuinely appreciate my customers, like their support. It's crazy. I feel like we have fans instead of just customers. or
Well, and that's
or
what happens when you build a brand and you do quality work, right? And they actually want to be reached out to, I think, right? Like my customers like hearing from me and making sure I'm doing good, you know?
you just have to be careful not to be annoying. It's sending too many emails.
Well, yeah, but you could that and not being slimy in the emails that you send. You know, you probably wouldn't send a commercial email every week, or maybe I don't
Yeah.
know. You know,
Yeah, they would think like, all right, is he just messing with us?
but I mean, to be fair, you're not right because you are creating a commercial. It's just for your business, you know. But
Yeah,
that's
yeah, exactly.
even where marketing comes in a little bit too, right?
Yeah.
How
Well,
you
one guy
position.
wanted to see the commercial. I'm like, he just filmed it. It's not done yet. I
Yeah,
was like, I'll email it to you, Jerry.
yeah. Relax. How did
Like,
you
like,
pick?
right away. It's funny. He's funny.
How did you pick who like who you chose? Did you go through and pick like who had the nicest car or the car that was showed the best in the video or the first two people? How did you pick?
Um, well, I mean, there was a couple customers that they already got their car ceramic coated like a few months ago. So it's like, what am I gonna coat your car a second time? I can't do that. So they were out. I definitely gave them the voucher and sent them a separate text like, hey, if you want like a maintenance detail, let me know. I'd be happy to hook you up. But yeah, we I kind of looked at the customers that haven't had their car done yet, or haven't had one of their, maybe they just had one car, but the car they told me about was a car that we haven't coated yet. So I really focused on that, which is a no-brainer. But then I just looked at the most interesting cars. So we had an Alfa Romeo, and a 944, Porsche 944S, and what was the other one? Mini Cooper S, but it's a really cool like flat white color. I think he's got it vinyl wrapped or something. So we just picked the most interesting cars for the videos, and that's how I did it.
How did you give the voucher or how are you going to track? I guess it doesn't really matter even if you didn't give the voucher to someone and somehow they got their hands on it, but how did you present them with the voucher? Is it just via
Um,
text?
so I just emailed them. I texted them all because that's how I wanted the response from the email. I said, text me if you're interested. That way it was easier to track.
Gotcha.
And then I texted them the same. I copied and pasted the same little paragraph saying thank you for your support. Please text me back your email, and I will send you, a voucher that you can use towards the detail. Just because I appreciate you supporting my business and your response, and willingness to help us with the video. It's awesome. So once I got all their emails, I just typed them in individually, into one email file, and I attached the voucher to it. I just made a $50 voucher. I made a new one so I know what it's from, and put a little expiration date at the bottom, and just emailed it to them and all to them all, and then sent them a group text saying, your coupon is in the email. Yeah, so they were all pumped about that.
It's freaking awesome, man. I think it's such a good idea. It's such a creative idea and such a doable idea too. I mean, because I could see some people going, oh, well, it's not a commercial. Commercial's meant to be like on TV. That was like my first thought, like kind of a play on words. But if you think about it, you could just hire a video crew for if you had a database of say 100 customers, maybe not 1,500, but you had no work and you just wanted to get one or two cars, you could
Yeah,
put that out to your list. That's a great idea. And then hire either a video crew or maybe your buddy can hold a camera or whatever and film and if they ask what kind of commercial, it's a promotional commercial for my
yeah,
business. So this is really a strategy that anyone could do like today. That's what I like about it too. As
yeah, and
long as you have a
was it?
customer list.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've done a couple years ago. I did a TV ad too. Those, um, I didn't get a huge response. You get more of a call to action or response from like a Facebook video or something, but because people can actually interact with it and comment and message you. But
And that too,
um,
you could create the commercial for a Facebook ad, right?
yeah, yeah. But the TV, well, you can do both. You can put the ad on TV and then use that same video file for Facebook. Why can't you? But
100%.
it's the TV ad was pretty cool. I did it the same year I did the billboards, and I got a pretty good response from it. A ton of people said that they saw it. So, and it was
Yeah.
pretty affordable. I just did it with the local news station, so it was pretty affordable.
And sometimes there's that kind of marketing too, where it's just kind of like brand awareness, right?
Yeah,
I think we
that's what.
talked about that when you talked about your billboard advertising. It was more, or maybe that was the hockey, when you sponsored the hockey team, it was more about brand awareness, right?
Yeah, it was a combination of all that. I did in the same year. I spent a ton of money, but the same year I did the billboards, the advertisement in the local mall, the hockey team, the radio, the TV. You know, I was everywhere I could be for like that whole year, because we just got our new website. We just refreshed our logo at the time, and we had the first time ever. This was like 2017 or something. The first time ever I had a legitimate like business plan. And I was just like, all right, let's. We were doing pretty good. We were busy, but I was like, all right, let's invest and see what we get. And then that I feel like I'm still getting a little bit of residual from that, or you can still get some of the effects a couple years later. Not as much, but it comes up in conversation. I'll hear a customer once in a while be like, you're gonna do a billboard again? I remember, driving by that thing every day, seeing your company face.
Totally.
Yeah.
I remember my dad did a local commercial one time on like the local, it was even smaller. It was like, we have this very local TV channel, and he did a commercial on that, and like everyone would come in talking about it. It's pretty funny. Is there anything, looking back on it now, I know you just did it, but now that you've kind of seen the result of it, is there anything that you would have done differently or would have changed up a little bit differently?
I don't know. Nothing that I
That's
can
good.
think.
I was going to say, sounds like a no.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do it again.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I would do differently for that. It went pretty well.
To me, it seems like it went great. I just wondered if there was any like glaring thing that stuck out to you that you were like, next time I would have done this or so that.
The only thing that sucks is you're doing a coating for a discounted price. But I mean, it's not like I'm losing money on the coating either.
Right.
But it's, we hit our goal, and they're going to be they're already customers. They're already clients. They're on the email list.
Right. Right.
So it's not like it's a quick, cheap coating that I'm going to get in and out and never see that person again.
Totally. You're going to get the maintenance of it.
Yeah. Now we got to maintain it and try to get them on a maintenance plan or whatever they want to do.
I mean, I always look at it like, shoot, even if they're not on a maintenance plan, they're just coming back to maintenance it. It's probably going to be easier to maintenance that car coated than not coated.
Yeah, right? I love when my customers have coated cars that come in.
Yeah, exactly. So you end up making it up somehow, right? Even if you have to offer a discount.
Yeah, or they love how it beads up, and then they have their wife's car done or whatever.
There you go.
Or I mean, I have my car done.
Sometimes you just got to get their feet wet, give them a little taste, and sometimes you got to discount it to give them that taste.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I think I learned this from you actually years ago, because I remember listening to your first episode. And I think I learned this trick from you, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it was Darren, but I'm pretty sure it was you. You said something like, if the customer's not sold on the coating, just coat like the hood for them or coat the fender. Yep. And let them try it out for a couple weeks. That was you?
Yeah. Or even the hood only, Yeah, that was me. But yeah, give them a taste of it. Cause really, I mean, what's it cost you to coat a fender?
Yeah, I mean,
nothing.
You can with one bottle of coating, you can do like, I don't know, 3 cars, maybe 5 cars. Depends on the size of the cars and how good you are at spreading it.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, break that down into 10 panels per car maybe, and divide that. It's maybe $1 to coat the hood or something. I don't know.
Yep. I even told the customer one time they were getting a coating on the rest of their car, and I was trying to sell them on a rim coating, and they were like not too into it. And so I told them I would coat the front rims only, and they could see how it went. And then if they didn't like it, it was free. I was going to do it for free. And the guy was like, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Why would I do that? He's like, you know what? Fine. Just coat them all. He couldn't mentally deal with like having 2 of his rims coated, you know, hating it all. So I was like, perfect. That works, you know? And because obviously it was like, man, if he's that confident in it that I'm going to see that dramatic of a difference, I'm in, you know? That's what
Yeah. I mean, customers love the confidence. It's the best
100%.
way to sell something too, you know?
100%. Right on, man. I love it. I definitely wanted to get this out because I think people can really benefit from it. Detailers, obviously. So you do stuff like this all the freaking time. So how can people follow you? I definitely encourage them. I know you probably don't want a bunch of other detailers following you, but hey, you never know, right?
No, I mean, as long as you're not marketing to them, that's what matters. I don't care if they follow me and watch what I'm doing. It's, you know, I'm here to help them. I mean, I had so much help from other detailers that, you know, and I'm still learning, you know, I didn't, you know, I wouldn't say I'm like a veteran or anything yet. I still got a long way to go, but I want to start giving back too and helping guys. I love it. So,
it's very rewarding.
yeah. So, you know, best way is, to just Instagram. It's just Pro and Local Detailing. My Instagram is Pro and Local, PROAND LOCAL. That's my Instagram. I have the most interesting stuff on there. You can see some funny videos of Steve. He's hilarious. And you can just find my website. My cell phone's right on there. You can text me too if you want.
Love it, man. Thanks again for your willingness to share with everyone. And, you know, you could keep all this crap to yourself, but you decided to share it. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Anything to help. Thanks for having me again.